Casteism forces a 17-year-old boy to carry his mother's body on a cycle for 5 kilometers in Odisha. Saroj, a 17-year-old boy, was forced to carry his mother's body on a cycle in Odisha after their neighbors refused to help as they belonged to a lower caste. He had to go cycling for almost 5 kilometers in Karpabhal to perform her final rites. And he was denied a burial ground, so he had to bury his mother in the forest. His mother passed away when she fell down while fetching water, and she died because the neighbors wouldn't help.
Wait, oh my god! So 3 different things. She died because the neighbors wouldn't help, and this poor little boy had to carry her mom also for 5 kilometers on a bike, also because the neighbors wouldn't help. And even when he got there, they wouldn't allow him to bury her mother there, so he had to go and bury her in the forest.
Well, he had to take her to Karpabhal to perform her final rites because he was denied a burial ground there. Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh my god! Imagine going through losing your mother, and then having your last memory with the person that you love so much. This is going to be the last memory is for her to be denied a proper burial. You love somebody so much, and you're suffering that experience, and now you're reminded how the last memory you have with her is a reminder of how little she's meant to everyone else around you. And if you see this, and fucking hell, if you're hearing this story and your first reaction to this is that this is not Hinduism, fuck you. Because this is if your first reaction to a story like this is defending your ancient religion, then this shows your priorities. It shows defending your tribe, defending your sacred values, your sacred religion, or whatever you want to call it, a way of life, philosophy, bullshit. It's a fucking barbaric ancient religion. If that's what your priorities are, then this is the exact problem with religion, that you want to defend something that has no feelings, that doesn't over humans. This is how religion causes tribalism. This is because of Hinduism, by the way, in case anybody's wondering.
There's another example of the caste system in this very same instance. There was a man whose 7-year-old daughter died, and the police came and looked at the body and everything, and they said that if he wanted to have a post-mortem autopsy done, that he had to get her to the hospital, and they wouldn't arrange for transportation because they were of a lower caste, and so he carried his daughter's body 8 kilometers in a sack to the hospital.
When my mom died, everyone around me was, sad and supporting, and they were, and that shared feeling of sadness made us all get together and support each other emotionally. And I can't imagine such a shitty experience and having to go through that with everybody around me, considering my mom being worthless. I can't imagine how much more horrific that experience would have been, to lose somebody so valuable to you and see how worthless she is to everyone else. Holy fuck, that must have been a bad experience. And this boy is only 17 years old, and he cared, it's like he carried her body. Oh my
God. There were some comments about the audio levels being off. I adjusted my output so that
whose audio is higher, whose audio is low.
Said that mine was higher, so I adjusted mine, so hopefully that's better.
Let me fix that. Sorry guys. Anyway, I'm gonna fix the audio level. Bear with us. It's probably my microphone. Hopefully this helps.
Oh yeah, they said it was you, that you're too quiet.
Is it better now? Thank you guys for letting us know. We should have asked before we started. Next time, remind me, Gemma, when you start to check.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna read the top comment. I can hear Armin. Gem. Armin is quiet. Where is his mic?
Okay, I think that's better.
Did they not, guys? Did you not hear any of the what we said, or was the audio just low?
I think the audio was just slow. It was just yours. Everybody says it's good now.
Okay, but did you guys hear what we said? Yeah, I think they did. Anyways, the top comment of the is by somebody that I can't read their name. It's in a different language. They're saying, relax guys, it's not casteism as usual, fake news it is. The mother-son duo were living among their own people. The lady's brothers and other relatives did not offer their help as it is against their tradition to shoulder a dead daughter. So yes, it is unfortunate and humanity got defeated by traditions, but this is not casteism.
Yes, it is, because you have to explain why the neighbors didn't help. And you have to explain why the neighbors didn't help with them being of a higher caste.
So he thinks it's not casteism because it was their neighbors, but so the neighbors are probably of the same caste, but the story reports that the neighbors were of the higher caste.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people shout fake news whenever they hear a story, and I'm not saying this guy is right or wrong. I just think like people like to pretend that they have discovered fake news, even though they themselves haven't really looked into the story, right? But I'm willing to accept if this is not because of casteism, but the person that is saying that this is fake news, they themselves, he or she, I don't know, they themselves are saying it is because of tradition. So because another tradition is that you shouldn't be. I don't believe that this is because of not touching dead bodies, because there's a whole bunch of people that are that help with getting people buried in India. I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm not going to believe, just because you shouldn't believe a story just because you hear it, but you shouldn't also believe that it's fake news just because somebody shouts out fake news. So another person is correcting him with a link saying this is casteism. A similar incident happened a few years back where a man had to carry his dead wife's body on his shoulder. I think he's saying shoulder, because they were from a lower caste. That too in the same area, and they're saying this is a similar story, and it was in the same area.
I think it was his daughter, not his wife.
See, and okay, you keep repeating this nonsense. Here's the news link for the previous incident. Yeah, I think a lot of people want to, just defend, just want to reduce the role of casteism because they want to pretend like it's not a big deal in India anymore, whereas actually it is. But you guys, if anybody here knows, if want to correct us, if you think this report of this news is wrong, this is published by IB Times, which is an Indian news organization. So let us know if you think this is right or wrong. But there is a lot of bias when people shout out fake news about these things. Okay, so do you want to look at the YouTube live chat, see if it's if we missed anything, any comments? I'll look at the Facebook live chat. You're muted, Jim. See, I knew you were going to do this again.
I don't see anything.
Okay, good. A lot of people in the Madhusa in the Indian life, she's from India, and she's saying in the Facebook live chat, she's saying that this is very sad. She's not going to defend this. This is bullshit apologism. So thank you so much for saying that. By the way, guys, if you want to make sure, if you guys have a comment that you want us to read, make sure you mention Atheist Republic or you tag Atheist Republic. Oh, Bijan Christie, great to have you in the live chat. YouTube live chat. Anyways, Jim, did you want to add anything to the story?
No, I mean, that's just, it's just really sad that, I mean, that people would deny somebody help and probably what is the worst day of his life up to that point. I mean, he'd already lost his dad a few years before, and it was just him and his sister who were staying in the town of their mother's father after their dad died because they had to move. So I mean, just
I see another. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
So I mean, just being alone without your parents. I mean, yeah, I mean, 17 years old, you know, yeah, you're pretty old, but at the same time, like, what 17-year-old has to, you know, carry his mother to be buried and then have to bury her himself or cremate her himself because there's he wasn't allowed to.
Well, you just repeated what I said. Okay, so
well, I mean that's all I have.
Some guy from India actually is saying that they saw this in the news and it's so fucked up. So a lot of people from India are confirming this is this story. He's saying, I want to read this comment on Facebook. It says, I saw this on the news. This is fucked up. I feel ashamed that this happened in my country. I want to point out to people that say this, I'm ashamed that this happened in my country. You shouldn't be ashamed about something that you were not responsible for. I don't get that. I don't get people that are proud of something they didn't do just because it happened in their own country. I think it's the same thing when it comes to being ashamed of something. It's like, oh, I'm ashamed as an Indian. Why would you be ashamed? Did you do something here? No, you didn't. It's not your fault. Just because you were born in that same area, you're not responsible. So don't be ashamed of something that you're not responsible for. Vic is saying more temples than toilets. What do you expect? That was the top comment. I don't know why Facebook didn't put this at the very top. This was supposed to be the top comment. Another comment that should have been higher. I don't know how Facebook is sorting these. Is saying that's not casteism. That's illiteracy. But what? It's the same thing. Casteism is an offense in India. Well, Jesus Christ! Another apologist. Low caste people have more rights compared to high caste people. Please prove me wrong. Oh, fuck off!
Really?
Fuck off!
Are you serious? You show me how somebody in the Brahmin class does better than somebody on the lowest caste. Show me one Brahmin who is worse off than somebody in the lower caste. One.
It's kind of this guy saying like it's illegal, so it's kind of like saying racism. Hate crimes are illegal in the United States, so there is no racism in the United States. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Just because something is illegal doesn't. I mean, the fact that even if it is illegal, the fact that it had to become a law shows the fact that how big of a problem it is in your country. Come on, take responsibility. I mean, okay, don't take responsibility for it because you didn't do it, but don't deny its existence because if you do, then you're part of the problem.
Atheists are under attack in many places. If they were Christians, their voices would be heard. If they were Jews, their voices would be heard. If they were Muslims, their voices would be heard. But they are atheists, and not many seem to be listening. Let's make it difficult for them to ignore us. We have built a global community, and now we are tearing down geographic, cultural, and language barriers so we can find each other and support each other. In the last decade, we have built the largest atheist community in the world. Now we're doing the same in other languages. With your help, we have started Atheist Republic in Persian and Arabic.
انضميت مؤخراً لأسرة Atheist Republic وحيصير عندي بودكاست باللغة العربية.
As we grow, we can dedicate more time, staff, and resources to start doing the same in Spanish, Portuguese, Malay, Bengali, Urdu, Hindi, and other languages. We are providing community, support, informative content, and amplifying the voices of those who need protection, especially in countries where people feel isolated simply for their lack of belief. We want to be there for them, and we are only getting started. Help us get there. Check in the description for ways you can support our projects.